back with former world heavyweight champion Joseph Parker. Joseph, welcome to the KO Boxing Show.
Thank you, Pete. Thanks for having me on.
Always a pleasure to have someone like you on, mate. Mate, you're number 2 in the world now, so things are happening for you. Mate, you were awarded the Order of Merit by the Samoan minister. What did that mean for you?
It was a great moment for me. Very proud of my Samoan heritage and New Zealand heritage, and to be recognised, from Samoa for me is a massive achievement. And as a kid, I traveled back and forth to Samoa every year with my parents, 3 times a year. So for them to recognise that, it's awesome.
Wow. Also, what's it been like training with COVID-19 now? Because, I mean, your Prime Minister, Jacinda Ardern, she's unbelievable. She's leading the world in the way she's done this, and we take our hat off to her. She's our idol. What a Prime Minister you guys have got. You're so lucky. But has it been tough for you with the training?
Yeah, firstly, she's awesome. She took a stand in the beginning as soon as it happened, and she pretty much put us on lockdown, so we were able to, be ahead of everyone. And then now we're sort of, down to level 1, which is awesome. Back to normal now. So it's good. It's good that everyone's allowed to leave home and be free again, and hit the gym. And for training, though, it wasn't too hard. I'm very motivated at the moment and driven to be champion of the world again, 2-time world champion. So I have gear at home that I have access to. I got treadmill, I got kettlebells, I got weights, and I got enough gear to be able to keep fit, keep in shape, because I know when the opportunity comes, I'll be ready for it.
My next question, I saw your little promo film of Back to the Future, and you played a couple of characters in that. You were sensational. Is that something you'd like to do, an acting career? Because you had a lot of talent and you put a lot of work into it. You even had Tyson Fury do a cameo.
Yeah, with this lockdown, it's actually given me the opportunity to be myself. Just to, at home, I like to turn on music, have fun, have a dance, and have a laugh, and everything's positive, and everything's about having fun. So this lockdown's given an opportunity to do these videos and have fun at the same time, but also give everyone else a bit of positivity through this hard time. If I get the opportunity after my career to do some acting, I would love to give it a go. But I have a lot of respect for those in the movie industry. The directors, producers, actors. It's not. I just got a little glimpse of what they go through. So it's I'd love to give it a go.
Look, I saw it myself, and I'm a harsh critic. I watch a lot of movies. You played a few characters in that. You played it well. So, I mean, I know The Rock's one of your idols and a good friend. He crossed over and he became a very good actor, The Rock.
He did. He became a very good actor, probably the highest paid actor in the world. So he crossed over from wrestling, and I think it's a great move. And he's a big inspiration not only for myself but other New Zealanders and other Samoans and everyone around the world.
Yeah, for sure. Joseph, let's go into some of your moments in boxing. I think the moment for you beating Andy Ruiz when you won the world heavyweight title in front of your own home crowd, what was the feeling going through your mind? It must have been amazing.
It was an incredible, special moment, not only for myself, but for Samoa, New Zealand, for my parents, for my coach, supporters. It was a hard fight. Andy Ruiz is a hard fighter, tough, durable, explosive. And to get the win over him was great, but then doing it in New Zealand and winning the world title was, like I said, was a special moment. And to become the first New Zealand sort of Samoan heavyweight champion of the world, it's we're gonna go. We're down in the history books. So what can I say? It's hopefully we can do it again. Be 2-time world champion.
We kind of, because in Australia, anything that's good from New Zealand, we adopt. You've got to remember we adopted Phar Lap. He became an Australian, but he was from New Zealand. And we also got Russell Crowe, who was a New Zealander, but now we call him an Australian. So I think it's about time we adopt you. We'll get you to become an Australian. But on another note, you've been fighting in England, and I mean, you fought Anthony Joshua. What a performance. You fought Dylan White, Hughie Fury. What was the experience fighting in England, and what are the English crowds like?
The English crowds, they get behind their fighters. And I think that we've, as our team doing pretty good over there, we've gained some good support and some good, just people. Every time we go there, it feels like, since we've fought there 3 times now, it feels like another home. There's New Zealand, there's Samoa. I love Australia. I got a lot of family living in Australia. There's the UK and obviously America because I lived there for training. But all these places feel like home.
Wow, that's great. Your manager, David Higgins, he's obviously doing a lot of work for you behind the scenes. You've also signed a deal with Eddie Hearn Matchroom. What's it like working with Eddie Hearn?
Eddie Hearn is a sharp operator, and he's got a lot of fighters under his stable. And I think he's the best promoter in the world. Hence why we signed with him. And he's, I had a 3-fight deal. I've had 2 fights now under Matchroom, and I've got 1 fight to go. So I think he always tries to get the best fights for me. Sometimes we're not able to lock in the best fighters around the world. There's a lot of, they want more money or they're not ready for it or they have other fights locked in. But like I said, he's a sharp operator, and I think we work well as a team.
No, that's great. I actually brought a fighter to fight on your undercard. It would have been about, I think, 2015. And I got to meet your mum. She was ringside. What a terrific lady. I've also been dealing with Elizabeth, your sister. It's great that you've got family like that. How important is family in boxing in such a really a hectic business?
Boxing is hectic, as you well know, and it's very, it can be brutal, and boxing is one of those things. You have nice people, and then you have dodgy people, then you have people who just have interest in themselves and gain for themselves. So it's good to have family around to help look after my my dealings and what I do. And my sister, she's graduated, she's a lawyer now, and my mom, she's got a business degree and all that. So it's good to have the family involved to help sort of keep guiding my career. And nothing beats family.
No, correct. You're 28 years of age, Joe. That's a baby for heavyweight. So you've got a massive, massive years in front of you. It must be exciting. What's next? Because here in Australia, we get little feeds that you might be fighting Lucas Brown, and they say, oh, it might be Dempsey McLean, it might be whoever, but we don't know. And I know that possibly they were talking about at the start of this year, the WBO title is going to be vacant again, and you could be fighting for a vacant WBO World Heavyweight title. But obviously you need activity fights in between. Do you know what's on the next wave, or are you just on a sort of sitting platform at the moment?
At the moment, my understanding is that the team here in New Zealand, David Higgins, my management team, along with Eddie Hearn and Matchroom, and also Kevin Barry, they're working on something, a fight that we can have here in New Zealand. Because of the travel restrictions around the world, I don't think we're able to go to America or the UK, or there's no fights. I mean, there was only one event that I've seen, this past week in Top Rank, put on a good show with no crowds. So at the moment, if we can make something happen here in New Zealand, that'll be amazing. But because the goal this year was to keep busy, fight in the beginning of the year in Texas, and then have 2 or 3 more fights. But with everything that's happening, everyone's plans are on hold. So it'd be great to have a fight here in New Zealand, and we're trying to look for the best heavyweight on this side of the world. If we can't get anyone from the UK or US or anyone from the top 5 or top 10, we'll look at the best heavyweight on this side of the world.
That's great news. Joseph, what's happening now with lockdown? Because New Zealand, as we mentioned before, your great Prime Minister was so far in front of the game that she shut everything down so early. Now you're reaping the benefits of no recent infections. So what's happening now? Is there still social distancing? Have gyms open up? Are you allowed in masses?
Yeah, there is. It's, like I said before, on level 1, and it's pretty much back to normal. But there are restrictions. There are other sort of rules around where you still try to keep a distance. The gyms are open, but there's you have to continuously wash your hands and wipe the equipment down. So there are rules in place that will continue to help us. But it's great to see everyone out again, and there's the whole country's nearly back to normal.
Great news. During lockdown, what was your favourite go-to meal? Everyone had a favourite go-to meal. What was yours?
My favorite go-to meal was I ordered a lot of seafood. I love seafood. So I ordered salmon, I ordered snapper, which is fish, and I had sashimi. I love sashimi. It's my favorite.
Gee, that's good. I thought I've been on hamburgers, to be quite honest. I'm the opposite. All right, Joseph, thanks for giving your time, and it's been terrific having you on the show, and we're really excited here in Australia. We really wish you all the best your quest to become a 2-time heavyweight world champion. I'm sure you're going to get there. You fight with such terrific heart. You've got skill, and I mean you're that good. We didn't even go into your amateur career. You were such a great amateur as a teenager as well. So you've been a star from day one. And thank you for your time.
Hey Peter, thank you so much for having me on. Thanks for the support, and I do look forward to being in Australia. Hopefully, having a fight there in the future. You know, like I said, I have a lot of family and friends there, so it'll be amazing to be fighting in Australia one day. So thanks again for having me on.
Thank you, Joseph. God bless, my friend.
God bless, brother. Have a good day.
Thank you.